Hello, I'm Nathan and I study at Monash University.
My name's Yolanda, study at Monash University as well. This week we are at Power to Change mid-year conference at Sydney, and we have a chance to do outreach at the local community. So basically we knock at the door and then spread gospels with the people living there. So we knock at the door, there's one old man coming out, and we just say hi and mention about Christianity. And then later I passed the conversation to Nathan.
So his name was James, and then I began the survey, and I introduced ourselves from Power to Change, university students attending a media conference. So the first question on the survey was, how long have you been living in this community for? And because he was a government worker, he said that he was in a rush and he had to go quickly, and he doesn't live in one spot at a time very often, so he's always moving around. So then I proceeded with the survey, and I asked him if it was okay and if it was appropriate, if I could ask him about his spiritual beliefs. He believed that there was a God, and that there were many different forms of religious beliefs, Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, and they all had one God, and they all set this bunch of rules and stuff so that just to do good things. And then I questioned him, do you believe in specific, well, if there was a God out there? And he's like, yes, definitely. And then I asked him about why do you say that? And he says because we're all people and we're all bad, and we need to turn to a certain God for rules and stuff. And then I was like, oh, that's very interesting. So as I said, we're from a Christian club, and we have a God as well. And would he be open to listening to what the Christian God, or who the Christian God was? And he said yes, and he said that these days we have to keep a very open mind to things. So then I asked him if you got a chance to know our Christian God personally, on a scale of 1 to 10, how interested would you be? And he said 7, and we were like, whoa, this is so interesting. First he admitted that we needed a God and that we're all bad people, and he wanted to know who the Christian God was. So then I took the opportunity, and then I opened up my Knowing God Personally booklet. This guy really knows what's going on, and I think God really can work in his life because he's so open and accepting, and he actually understands what Jesus has done on the cross now. And I just managed to connect the dots with him, which is usually where people sort of stumble and they don't understand how that relationship is drawn. And I did ask him explicitly, do you accept Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior? And he said yes. And I was just really excited and amazed that day that God is actually working, and that there are people who have soft hearts and actually really want to know the real God.